Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Quarters temporary studio. Welcome to the show. So, Phyrexia All-We-One spoiler season is rolling, and yeah, you can really blame Eddie for this one because Eddie made me aware of this card. So yeah, blame Eddie in the comments below, and let's jump into it. So, apparently Atraxa is back, and yeah, here's a translated version of the card. Atraxa Grand Unifier, a 7/7 Phyrexian Angel for 3 green, white, blue, black. Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, Lifelink, same as last time, but what's different is no proliferating this time. This time, when Atraxa enters the battlefield, reveal the top 10 cards of your library. For each card type, you may put 1 card of that type in your hand, for the rest of the bottom of your library in any order. And of course, the card types are artifacts, battle, creature, enchantment, instant, land, planeswalker, sorcery. You know, wait, battle? What in the world is battle? Apparently we have a brand new card type that just sneaks its way onto this card in that reminder text. So yeah, we have not seen, to my knowledge, a battle card just yet, but I am so pumped to see one. No idea what in the world it's going to be, but yeah, it's been such a long time since we've ever gotten a brand new card type. I mean, I think the last time we literally got that was what, Planeswalker? Years and years and years ago. So yeah, I am stoked to see what battle is going to be. Again, no idea what that is. I'm sure it would work well with this commander though, because yeah, this commander says, hey, you know, ETBs are kind of a good thing, and I have a incredibly powerful ETB that, hey, could basically draw you up to, I mean, like 8 cards, right? That's 8 card types: artifact, battle, creature, enchantment, instant, land, planeswalker, sorcery. I think that's 8 if I counted correctly. So yeah, basically on ETB, and again, yes, technically, rules lawyers out there, that's not drawing. Yes, you're correct, it's not drawing. But yeah, basically 8 potential card advantage on an ETB. What's not to love about that? Now, yes, okay, this is a 7-mana commander. That is a ton. Obviously, you've got access to green, so yeah, you've got plenty of ways to ramp incredibly quickly to get to that. And then, of course, a ton of ways. Again, you have access to 4 colors. Sorry, Red, you're left out in the dust right now. But yeah, 4 incredible colors with this commander to help use and abuse that ETB to make the most of it. And to, yeah, just be able to get an absurd amount of card advantage. So much that your opponents are going to be so jealous, because every single time you get more cards, those cards will help you get other cards, which help you get other cards. And again, this is all just on top of this being a 7/7 with Flying Vigilance, Death Touch, and Lifelink, which is already a ton. So yeah, this commander has a lot of potential. I can see it being incredibly popular. I mean, I'm not going to go as far to say, and I don't think it will get to that point where it's as popular as you know, the original Atraxa, because, I mean, original Atraxa, I think at this point might be the most popular commander of all time, but yeah, or at least one of the top 5. But yeah, I mean, very, very, very exciting commander. Excited to see what battle is. Now, on this episode, I'm going to talk about some cards that you should be considering for this commander, some budget buys, and some pricier picks. Now, with all that said, let's jump into something else. Because before we jump into those budget buys and pricier picks, really quick, let's talk about some commanders that are somewhat similar to this one, and this one definitely drew some inspiration from, in my opinion, and ones that are quite popular as well. I mean, Nimbus Reborn, this is kind of like a copy-paste, in my opinion, of this brand new commander. Hey, 6/6 flyer, so slightly smaller, costs a little bit less. It's Wooburg, though, so one more kind of color, you know, with that red. Thank you, red. But yeah, no red for Atraxa. Anyways, enters the battlefield with the top 10 cards of your library. So the exact same right there. For each color pair, choose a card that's exactly those colors from among them. Put the chosen cards in your hand. Rest of the bottom of your library in random order. This one's kind of like Guild Tribal, essentially. Whereas this brand new commander, this brand new Atraxa, is more like card type tribal, where you really want to spread out your amounts of each card type, essentially. You want to not make them even necessarily. I mean, that you really can't, you know, with lands, essentially, but make them pretty close outside of lands so that you have a good percentage chance of getting a lot of cards with that ETB. And like Niv, well, you really want to, again, yes, do that, make it so that you have a near even amount, but also focus on ways to use and abuse that ETB. Now, When it comes to Muldrotha, yeah, I see a little bit of Atraxa in Muldrotha as well. During each of your turns, you may play up to one permanent card of each permanent type from your graveyard. So yeah, Muldrotha cares about basically all kinds of permanent types. This new commander cares about all kinds of card types. So again, being able to spread out the amounts of each kind of card type, making them somewhat even, can definitely give you a massive advantage. And just as Muldrotha can give you a massive, amount of card advantage essentially, so can this Atraxa. So first up now, when it comes to the cards that you should be considering for this brand new commander if you want to build around it, when it comes to the budget buys, cards are within my budget restriction of $1 or less. Voyager Staff, Astral Drift, and Undying Mouse are ones that come to mind. Voyager Staff, hey, pay 2, sacrifice it, blink a creature. And that creature comes back at the next end step. So yeah, it's a great way to not only protect your commander, but it's also a way, again, with this commander to use and abuse that ETB, because this, total of 3 mana, yes, getting it down for 1, paying 2. Even if you're paying that, full 3 mana on 1 turn, 3 mana for the potential to basically get 8 cards in your hand is absurd. Speaking of which, Astral Drift, hey, 1 on top of that. This is an enchantment. So again, I'm going to be listing, different kinds of cards, because just as I'm doing, you should be diversifying your card type portfolio for this commander. Regardless, Astral Drift, enchantment, whenever you cycle it, well, you are going to be basically blinking a creature. And yeah, again, when you cycle it, you also draw a card. So this one basically has the potential to draw you 1 and give you 8 cards off the top of your library, 9 cards in total. Next up, for our instant that I'm going to bring up on these budget buys, Undying Malice and all those Feign Death type effects. Till end of turn, target creature gains when this creature dies. Turn to the battlefield, tap on its control with an extra counter on it. Now, basically what this one is going to be doing is saying, hey, this, is a giant threat of a commander, right? 7/7 flying, vigilance, death touch, lifelink. Your opponents are going to want to get rid of it. If they try to do that, well, unfortunately for them, you're going to have some tricks up your sleeve, including this one. Be like, well, oh no, Atraxa is going to die. She's coming back for 1 mana. Thank you for taking out Atraxa. I am going to be making her more powerful, and then also I'm going to be basically getting probably 8 cards in my hand. Thank you for that. Moving on, when it comes to the creature I'm going to bring up, yeah, there are plenty of creatures like this. Well, not exactly like this, but yeah, clones. Clones can work very well with this commander because this commander has an ETB. Sure, you'll lose the clone because of the legend rule, but that's okay. And in fact, with Vizier Many Faces, that's actually a good thing. Basically, Vizier Many Faces is a clone that has Embalm, so you can get it back out and clone again. So basically, clone Atraxa twice and get an absurd amount of cards in your hand. Speaking of which, Croaking Counterpart. Hey, create a token that's a copy of target non-frog creature, except it's a 1/1 green frog. Atraxa is not a frog, in fact, a Phyrexian Angel. So cool. Let's make a 1/1 frog version of Atraxa that will die because the legend rule, that's okay. Again, 3 mana, potentially get 8 cards in your hand. We can also flash it back again to do it again. Again, Atraxa, still not a frog. Let Jaromir, like, we don't have a land that can help us with this. Enters the battlefield, taps for a blue. Basically, pay 2, green, and a blue. Tap, sacrifice it. You get a creature token, copy of a creature you control. So, hey, Atraxa, even one of my lands can help me now draw essentially 8 cards. Again, rules lawyers out there, technically not drawing. Yeah, I know. Still, 8 cards for card advantage. What's not to love about that? Now, when it comes to Planeswalkers and the budget buys, one to consider might be Saheeli Sublime Artificer. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 color servo artifact creature token. That's nice. Also, -2. Target artifact you control becomes a copy of another target artifact or creature you control until end of turn. Except it's an artifact to other types. This one can work well with other cards. I mean, even just think about with, Voyager Staff, essentially making one of your artifacts, which might be that servo that you can make with this essentially, into another copy of that Voyager Staff. Another way to blink your commander. Again, being able to, spread out the amount of cards you have in each card type will only benefit you in the long run because, again, you've got more and more potential to get more and more cards off the top of your library and into your hand with every single one of those ETBs. But now it's time to talk about the pricier picks. Yeah, that's right, cards outside of my personal budget, some more than $1 and some a lot more than $1. And for the artifact, well, I did think about Panharmonicon, which, doubles up ETBs, and that's a great one. But also, hey, Conjurer's Closet, blink every single turn. Again, for 5 mana, this is an artifact that stays in play. Beginning of your end step, you blink your commander. Hey, potentially get 8 cards in your hand. Next turn, do the same thing. Hey, how about Teleportation Circle? What's that one do? An enchantment for 3 and a white. exact same thing. I mean, except you can blink an artifact or a creature, but yeah, you're going to be blinking your commander. You're going to be not drawing, you're going to be getting a ton of cards off the top of your library into your hand. The more and more of these kinds of effects that you have, the more ridiculous this commander can get. And yeah, there are plenty. I mean, Imminat to the Fate Shifter, a great planeswalker, does a lot of good things. But most importantly for this commander, -1, exile under target permanent you own the return to the battlefield under your control. So yeah, even if an opponent somehow steals your commander, you're like, no, back over here, please. And thank you for that ETB again. When it comes to creatures, I could not talk about Sakashima of 1,000 Faces. Basically a clone, well, a hyper clone in a way, enters the battlefield as a copy of another creature you control, except it has Sakashima 1,000 Faces other abilities, and it just happens to say the legend rule doesn't apply to permanents you control. So hey, this is a clone that can become a copy of anything, and also basically says, you know what, hey, I'm a copy of Atraxa, and now we can have as many Atraxas as we want. Good luck, opponents. So a lot of 7/7 flying, vigilance, death touch, lifelinkers that also have ETBs that we can use and abuse. So how about that in combination with a red Replication? Ooh, that is spicy. Kicker, 5. Create a token that's a copy of target creature. If this spell is kicked, create 5 of those tokens instead. Again, even if you don't, have a legend-breaking rule in play like Sakashima, sure, I mean, I'll take 5 token copies of Atraxa. That, I mean, or might only be temporary because I lose them because of the legend rule, but still, what's 5 times 8? That's a potential of what? 40 cards in your hand potentially just from playing and kicking this? I mean, yes, even just, playing this without the kicker is still great, but yeah, potential. Mirror Pool, another card that can be great with this commander. Again, another land that can help us out. Enters battlefield tapped, taps for a colorless, pay 2 and a colorless, tap and sacrifice it. You can copy it into sorcery, or pay 4 and a colorless and tap it. Sacrifice it, you get a token that's a token of a creature. So again, hey, another one of our lands that can help out with Atraxa. And finally for the instant, Ghostly Flicker is somehow not my budget buys anymore because this card is over $1. Wizards, reprint Ghostly Flicker, please. Anyways, instant for 2 and a blue. Exile 2 target artifacts, creatures, and or lands you control and return them to the battlefield under your control. So yeah, 3 mana, abuse, 2 ETBs essentially. This can give you a lot of value. And again, even if you're just, blinking Atraxa and one of your lands essentially to, untap it, it's basically then a 2 mana spell in a way essentially that also just can potentially get you 8 cards off the top of your library. Absurd. So, Atraxa, Grand Unifier, yeah, I can see this one being quite popular. Again, a very, very, very powerful color combination. Sorry, red. I mean, any 4-color combination really is, but still, even though this commander does have a high converted mana cost, again, it does have access to green, so you've got a ton of great ramp, and of course, you've got access to an absurd amount of ways to use and abuse that ETB to make the most of it. Again, the potential to get up to 8 cards in your hand, and we shall see again what that battle type card is. I'm really excited to see that. Really excited to see what players do with this commander. Again, if you are interested in some of the cards I mentioned on this episode, make sure you check out that link in the description below. Because, yeah, this commander definitely has a ton of potential, and I think a lot of players out there are going to be really excited about it. And with that, this episode is coming to an end. So, yeah, comment below and let me know what your thoughts are. And, of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.